Hi, here we are in our Coleman LT 17B. When we bought this RV back in the summer, I did a short little, I guess a review of it and talked about a couple of upgrades that we did on it. Well, since then we've gone on several trips and I feel like I can do a better actual critical review. Plus we've added a bunch of upgrades. So this is kind of review and upgrades number 2. And like I said, this is going to be more critical than the one I did before, which was kind of just a walkthrough. So let's get started. We're going to start outside. All right, if you're going to buy an entry-level kind of low-price RV, you're not going to get a lot of the fancy things you get when you pay twice as much for one, except that when you buy the Coleman, all right? But there are going to be things that you're going to want to put on it that some of them I think maybe they should include. For example, one of the things I added here was a battery cutoff switch. It wasn't hard to put on. They cost only about $15. You spend about another $8 on a wire to splice it in, and it's easy. In fact, I made a video of me putting it on. And so a cutoff switch is really a necessity. It is very destructive for you to let your battery here run down to nothing and then sit that way all winter. And no matter what you do, if you don't have this switch, you've got things in there that are little, they call them vampire devices because they slowly suck the energy out of your battery. So this probably should be on all RVs, but it doesn't cost much. Like I said, for 30 bucks you can put one on yourself. It isn't very difficult. Another thing that I know they'll never put hardly on any RVs, but you're going to want to have, is one of these gauges. It's a real simple gauge. I made a little video about it. It goes on here real easy, and it tells you how much propane you've got in your tank. It's not expensive either. Now, I don't leave this on there's an airplane flying overhead. We're right in the flight pattern for DFW Airport, which is about 10, 15 miles south of us here. But that means that this is the place they're going to be coming in. They're going to be flying over us about every 4 minutes, every 3 or 4 minutes. Now, of course, if it's a busy holiday evening or something, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, it's every 45 seconds. So there's going to be some airplanes flying over on the video. We just got to live with it. But here is the thing that I like. I put it on there whenever we're actually going camping or before we go camping to see how much propane we have. I don't leave it on there because our RV is stored in a great big lot with 100 other RVs, and I think this might be just too tempting for some other RV person to look at and think, man, I need one of those. So I don't leave it on there, but I put it on when we're taking off, we're going somewhere, we're going to do a trip or something like that. Not very expensive, but awfully handy. Okay, with this Coleman 17B, the air conditioner is kind of a window unit that sits up here kind of over the bed. There are pros and cons to that I'm going to be talking about later on. One of the things I don't like about this one is it just comes out and drains and just runs down the side of our RV. It doesn't. I wish it was plumbed into somewhere and came out the bottom, but it isn't. When the condensation happens, it just runs down there. That's one of the cons, I guess you could say. We'll talk about it more inside. Next thing we're going to quickly talk about is the hot water system or the water heater. It's right here, easy to get to, easy to work on. You're going to want to work on it, but it's pretty good water heater. In fact, it's too good. Here we go. The problem is it comes with a thermostat that's set to about 150, 160 degrees, which honestly is dangerous. You don't want someone turning the water on and then sticking their hand in there, even hardly for an instant. It will give you a first-degree burn at the very least. At 150 degrees, though, you can get second-degree burns. It's just way too hot. Luckily, someone sells an aftermarket thermostat that you can just take the old one out, put the new one in, and then adjust it down so it's not dangerous anymore. I mean, it's kind of nice when it's 150 degrees, 160 degrees, because what you do is you turn in the shower, you turn on the cold water, and then you add hot water to it until it's the temperature that you want. That helps you have more than a couple of showers, because you have to put so little with that cold water to make it hot that you can have a couple of showers. but that we just saw that as too dangerous, so we've got a thermostat in there. I've got it set down to about 110 degrees or something like that, and maybe a little more, but it's not going to instantly burn you like when it's 150 or something like that. Yes, change out that thermostat. It's not expensive and it's not difficult. I find it hard to believe that the Department of Transportation allows any vehicle on the highways that's not sold with a spare tire. Spare tire doesn't come with this trailer. You got to go out and buy one. By the time you buy the rim and then you buy the hardware to attach it to the bumper, the tire, maybe a cover, you've spent about $200. I think it's well worth it. Why would I drive around, go on long trips without a spare tire? It just doesn't make sense. Doesn't come with the trailer, and I highly advise you to get one, but that's up to you. All right, for every first-time camper, the question becomes, what do you do with that nasty sewer hose? How do you store that? Do you put it in a great big garbage bag and put it in your sleeper compartment, or God forbid, you know, in that compartment under your bed or something like that? You know, what to do with it? Well, we struggled with it. We got this great big heavy-duty garbage bag, and we put it in the outside compartment. And then one day, maybe on our third trip that we took, we stayed at a state park, and as you know, state parks typically don't have the full hookups with a sewer at every site. You have to use dump stations. And we were in line at a dump station behind a guy in a really old RV, but come to find out this guy knew so much more about RVing than we did. And so I'm sitting there, and he finishes his thing up, and he takes it and he stores his sewer line, you know, the stinky slinky, I think as it's called. And I thought, oh my gosh, well, will ours do that? And sure enough, it does. Here's what you do. You have to have a bumper that's set up for sewer line storage. How about that? You pull it out, you hook it up to your drain there. When you're done, you take it and you stick it right back in there. Is that not cool? And I'm here to tell you, if you're shopping for an RV and it doesn't have one of these bumpers, either get them to put one on or go somewhere else and get a different bumper. You don't want to be messing with that thing. You don't want to put it in garbage sacks or stuff like that. Here it is. It comes out, goes where it goes, and then goes right back where it goes. Easy peasy, and you never ever ever have to really mess with it that much. Just put it in your bumper. Is that not cool? And remember, anytime you're touching that thing, wear your gloves. And then don't go right from touching that thing to turning on your water or something like that. That's a no-no. Other campers will look at you and be frightened. Anytime you're touching this thing, wear gloves. When you're touching anything else, pretty much don't, all right? But take it and put it right there in the bumper. Pretty cool, huh? All right, I don't have them extended right now, but the 17B comes with these scissor jack stabilizers right here on the back. They're not any on the front, and so on the front, when you're walking around, you can kind of feel the trailer giving a little bit, but they're on the back here, and they really stabilize it well. I've already purchased scissor stabilizers for the front from a neat company that not only provides what you need, but they provide the screws to put them in, an adapter so you can you can raise them up and down with your drill, or also the drill that you need. It comes with everything. I can't wait to do that, and there'll be a video about it. But anyway, it comes with these scissor jacks, and they work quite well. So I'm gonna have some in the front real soon. All right, here we are inside the 17B. This is a 2022 model, and this is where I'm going to get a little bit more critical of the designs or the things that they've decided to either put in their design or not put in their design. And so here we go. First thing I'm going to talk about is the bed. The bed here comes with what they call the teddy bear mattress. It's the same mattress, I'm going to show it to you later, that's on the bunk beds towards the end of the back of the RV. And it's just a little thin, really soft foam. I mean, it crushes completely. Doesn't offer a whole lot softness whatsoever. It might be okay for a kid to sleep on, although honestly I wouldn't want them to do it either. A lot of people have been finding mattresses, queen size mattresses, which can vary a little bit, to put on here and make it a lot nicer. We bought a one of these foam memory mattresses. I chose that because those things are easy to trim and make fit just perfectly. Now I'll show you underneath here what we did, and we still have the teddy bear mattress right here, which is thin, and then the memory foam mattress. I gotta tell you, that doesn't seem like a lot, but between those two mattresses, it feels pretty good. This is a good night's sleep on this bed, even though it's just basically a board. But a lot of people say they just get a mattress, a queen size mattress. They can find one that fits. If you can find one that fits, great. If you can't, get a memory foam mattress and you can trim it down to whatever you need it to be. Okay. The other thing that is strange to me that doesn't come with an RV is a television. It makes no sense to me. They could put a cheap television in here and just be fine, but no television. They've got this fancy schmancy high-powered television antenna on the roof that comes out here that you can plug a little coax cable into, and we've done this a few times now, maybe half a dozen trips, and never did, when I turn it on and let it do a channel search, did we have less than 49 digital channels to watch. At one point, I think we had something like 98 in one place. And so you can get digital channels on there pretty easily. But we don't use those too much. We use Roku, and we go to a that's when we go to a campsite that has Wi-Fi, and we just use our Roku account just like we do at home. Works great. We can watch any of our shows anytime we want, whatever we want. Works out really well. Thing about this this television though that's kind of interesting is when you're going down the road, this is a tip. When you're going down the road, it's an earthquake back here, and a friend of mine who's been RVing for a long time told me, make sure you get a television holder like that you can move around, but at the same time make sure it has the ability to lock in place. This one, what you can do is you push it back and it either clicks in, there you go, right now, and you pull the string to unlock it, but it locks in place now. Leaving it just out and about to bounce around, I'm telling you, he said it's either going to tear up the TV or it's going to tear up the wall. So remember that when you go to buy your television, be sure when you get a stand up there, it's one that will lock in place. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, when we first were looking for RVs, we went to a place and there was one that was probably $25,000 or $30,000, maybe more actually. I was really impressed with it because all their outlets had USB outlets on them as well. And then when I got this one, which is a kind of, inexpensive entry-level one, it didn't have that. And I don't understand that because the outlets that you can buy and put in here that have USB on them aren't that expensive. I mean, they're a couple dollars more maybe than just a regular outlet. But I was really kind of disappointed that it didn't have it. So I thought, well, how can I correct this quick and easy? Well, it turns out you can buy this little adapter right here that plugs right onto that that outlet that you have right at the foot of the bed, and telephones and things like that usually end up laying on this little shelf, and it works great. You actually increase, instead of using up all your outlets by charging a couple of phones, you get 3 more AC outlets and 4 USB outlets. I can put the phone right there, and I love it. I'm easily impressed with my own genius apparently, but I think it's great. I love it. I love it right there. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, at this end of the RV is the air conditioner. Now the air conditioner, you got it on the shot good? Okay. That air conditioner sits right here, just kind of in its own little hole in the wall. It's a window unit. It's a little bitty window unit. And some of the B-17s come with a great big unit that's in the center right here. The advantage and disadvantage is those aren't right by your head making noise, and they're plumbed, have a drain that comes out somewhere else, doesn't just run down the outside of the building. But one of the things the salesman mentioned that I liked was when this unit goes out, goes on the fritz or do whatever, it's a trip to Walmart, get a little window unit, and you put it in. It could be $100 or less to replace it. To replace one of these great big RV units that's up at the top is going to cost you a lot more than that, and it's going to take a technician. This is just sticking in a window unit right there. And so, you know, pros and cons, however you want to do it. The other thing, though, is when you're leveling this vehicle, if you're going to be the least bit unlevel, make it unlevel that direction. Because if you make it unlevel, like leaning this way, there's a chance that some water could drip out here. And that's going to be really unpleasant. We learned the hard way, for a drop of water to hit you on the face, like waterboarding, something like that there. It's really kind of awful. So make sure, and so what we do when we're leveling our vehicle, if we're going to not be perfect, it's going to be perfect leaning that way, okay? And so just to let you know, okay? All right, we're going to change locations here a little bit, and then I'm going to tell you one of my pet peeves. Okay, this is something I don't understand. Somebody who started building these 17Bs in the 70s or something like that must have said, you know what, every RV needs an AM/FM radio. So they put an AM/FM radio. They don't put a TV in the RV, but by golly, you're going to get your own super fancy schmancy AM/FM radio. Doesn't even have a channel selected. How do you turn this thing off? We never even use it. Okay, well there you go. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, an AM/FM radio, really? Really? Does it come with an 8-track too? I don't know. You know what? This cabinet space is something that's hard to come by in an RV, and they just messed up a good chunk of cabinet space by putting this little thing that does funny tricks in there. Please, Coleman, do away with the AM/FM radio, and you can go online and you can find guys who have taken this out and put a door here so they can have more cabinetry. Okay, this is some of the pet peeves, other things that I would put in my critical review. Number one, this teddy bear mattress is what I'm talking about here. A kid could sleep on this, I guess. It wouldn't be bad. But we couldn't do it on our bed. But they're here. This is the Bunkhouse configuration for a 17B. I don't know why you'd do anything different. I'm going to show you one modification we did make down here, though, that I think you're going to like. But in a second. The other thing about this RV that was really weird is there's not a mirror in it anywhere, in the bathroom or anywhere. So we got an RV mirror. This is pretty cool. This is actually made of some type of space-age plastic or something. I'm trying to figure out where to put it. I put it on this door. And that way, you know, I'm sure you're going to go to the beach and you're going to look pretty, you know, beach worn every time you come back or something like that. But you're also going to want to wash your hair, comb your hair, straighten up, and go out to eat or something like that. You need a mirror. You need a good mirror in the RV somewhere. The other upgrade that we did is something everybody has to do, it seems, and that is find some way to secure your refrigerator. And what we did was we went to, I don't know, Home Depot or somewhere like that, and got child-proof locks. And that seems to be a thing a lot of people do. And if you don't do this, if you don't lock your refrigerator, really, I mean, you can put these things in there which try to hold stuff in, but if you don't, when you get to your destination, whatever is in here will be down here. It's a guarantee. So you need a way to lock it. And I got this cool thing here. These things slide in and snap in, and you know, they're child-proof, and it's also back of the RV earthquake-proof. All right, and let's see, anything else? Those are the three things. Okay, we're going to show you one other thing from back here. Well, we don't have kids with us typically, even grandkids, but we do have clothes. And so one of the things I did was I added a closet rod to this bunk here. Now, if you had a kid that was short and was down at that end there, you would still have a place for them. The clothes don't fill it all up, and they kind of compress. But I put this clothes rod in there, and so we end up using this for like a closet, and it works really well. Okay, there's another pet peeve I have about this little configuration right here, the bunkhouse configuration. I dare you as an adult to try to figure out a way to get on top of here without hurting yourself. I don't know how my 9-year-old grandson is supposed to climb up here. If we ever do go on a trip and we take them with us, I'm going to build a ladder here so he can get up in there, because he's going to end up trying to jump and he's going to hit his head or whatever, or he's going to try to climb over this edge, and it's just it just doesn't work. You have to have some kind of ladder to use this bunk, and I'll have to build one. So will you. Okay, we still have plans for the bathroom. I'm going to build some kind of corner shelf or something like that in there. There were no hooks or anything like that on the walls to hang towels, or what we do is we get a garbage bag and use it for a dirty clothes bag, one with handles. We hang that on there, and that works. And then another thing we did, of course, is we got us a new shower curtain. But one of the things that happened on the first trip we went on was a lot of water accumulated down here. So I put one of these I don't know what you call them, splash guards or something like that, that you can get at the Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever. They don't cost very much, and that completely solved the problem. Of course, the thing everybody talks about is the fact that this shower is only about 5 foot 10 inches tall. If you're more than 6 feet tall, you have to put your head up into this skylight vent kind of thing to take a shower. But really, who cares? You're taking a shower, you get in, you get out, and it's better than being in a tent and not having a shower. So I really don't complain about that. And like I said, it's a discount entry-level camper, and things aren't going to be, accept that. That's okay. And so I don't have a problem with that. I don't criticize them for that. The AM/FM radio I do, but for this, no. Right here on the end of the cabinet, right by the sink and the door, is this control panel and information panel. It works really well. I mean, you switch it over to one thing or another. It tells you how much water is in your sewer tank, or how much clean water you have in your tank. It tells you all kinds of things. I think it's something that's kind of well done. What's not well done is the switch that turns your hot water off and on. It doesn't really indicate well if it's on or not. You turn it on, a red light comes on, but that's only the light that's telling you that the electric pilot is coming on, and when it goes off, that means the heater has ignited. But unless you put your ear down there close to it, you don't know if the heater is on or not. And that switch is hidden down underneath here. So there you go. I could flip the switch and the there you go, the light comes on, but that's scary because we don't have any water in it whatsoever, and so I turned it off real quickly. Now that tells you, the light doesn't tell you the heater's on, remember, it tells you that the pilot's on, so the light goes off and then you're kind of on your own. Something that we bought, an upgrade that I highly recommend. Well, actually, we didn't buy it. Our son bought it for us. He's nice that way. And he bought us a backup camera system. As you can see right up there, this backup camera, I'll give you the name of it and later somewhere. But it is, I'll tell you what, we'll put it across the screen. And it's really great. And I can't imagine being without it. And when we had a little bit of a problem with one of the little antennas on the back of it, I called them up, told them, well, our son bought it for us. Do you have any kind of receipt? They said, yeah, I think I can get a receipt. Send them a receipt. They sent us a new system right away. These people are famous for their customer service. And man, right away we got a new, it was a problem in the antenna with the monitor, and they sent us a whole new monitor just right away, as soon as we proved that somebody had bought us one. And so I highly recommend getting one, and I also highly recommend this company that is probably either on a screen beside me right now or on the bottom. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching. I hope something helped you either in deciding whether or not to buy a Coleman, or maybe helping you because you bought one and you kind of want to know what are the pros and cons of how to work something. please, 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 you got to know that we people who do this, we live and die by those subscriptions and you pressing the like button. So please do that. And thank you very much for watching. And I'm going to be producing a couple more videos. One is putting on those scissor jacks here real soon.